right now. Team 6 is everywhere.
Now at 11, breaking news out of Mexico City. An explosion outside a maternity hospital injures more than 50 people.
And more breaking news. Locally, students and teachers at a high school are put on alert after a student makes a threat.
The FSU shooting chaos captured on camera. Chilling new surveillance video shows how students reacted as a gunman stormed into the library.
Well, new at 11, I'm at Booker T. Washington High in Miami, where it's out with the old and in with the new. I'm Bobby Brooks, and I'll explain exactly what I'm talking about in just a few minutes.
Live, the news on NBC6 South Florida starts now.
Off the top this midday, breaking news out of Mexico City. Dozens of people have been injured in an explosion outside a maternity and children's hospital. 54 people were hurt when a gas tank truck exploded outside the medical building.
Now, among those wounded were 22 children. There are no deaths reported. The blast also destroyed a large part of that building. Now, we're also following breaking news right here at home out of Southwest Ranches, where there's been some kind of a school threat.
Let's get right out to NBC6 reporter Sharon Lawson. She is live on the scene with more. Sharon, what do you know?
Well, Juwan, Pam, we definitely have an active scene out here at Archbishop McCarthy High School, where there was some kind of threat made to the school. And joining me right now is the communication director for the Archdiocese of Miami, Mary Ross Augusta, alongside the captain of Davie Police Department, Dale Angle. Thank you so much for joining us. And can you talk a little bit, Mary, about the nature of the threat that took place early this morning?
Well, it's being considered, and we're reacting to what we're calling inappropriate comments. Early this morning, the administration here at Archbishop McCarthy High School received information about inappropriate comments made on Facebook. Because of the world we live in today, obviously we take every inappropriate comment seriously. The school's response team acted immediately, contacting the Davie Police Department, as well as notifying the parents of the information. Part of the information was, we know of this. The police are on campus. The student that allegedly made these comments is not on the school grounds, was not on the school grounds at any time, and now the investigation is continuing through the Davie Police Department.
Definitely some tense moments here, and I can imagine too for parents who are hearing this. You did notify the parents to tell them that the safety of the students here is paramount, but also that they can come and get their kids as well if they feel that they need to. Can you talk a little bit about that and the safety of the children here?
Certainly. Archbishop McCarthy has a very large student body, almost 1,600 children. And I think not so much of, what exactly happened here today, but just what parents have experienced across the country and around the world, that, it's certainly understandable if the parents wanted to remove their child from the school today, and they're more than welcome to do that. The majority of the parents have chosen not to do that. And as we speak, the principal is sending another communication out to the parents, assuring them that everything is under control and at no time were your your child in danger.
Okay, Mary Ross Augusta, the communications director with the Archdiocese of Miami. Thank you so much for joining us, along with Captain Dale Angle with the Davie Police Department. Once again, still an active presence. The police were going to be on scene throughout the entire day, but just like Mary said, if parents feel the need that they need to come and pick up their children and bring them home, they can do so. Of course, we'll have much more coming up, developing throughout the day and during our afternoon shows beginning at 5 o'clock. For now, reporting live in Southwest Ranches, Sharon Lawson, NBC6 South Florida.
And we're also following breaking news in Opelika this midday. That's where an elderly woman just died in a fire. This is in the 2000 block of York Street. Police say that the woman was bedridden. She lived there with her family, but she was home alone at the time when the fire broke out. No word yet on what may have sparked it. We'll continue to follow this breaking story and bring you updates as soon as they become available.
Well, a live look for you right now outside downtown Miami. Looking very nice, partly cloudy conditions out there. Nice temperatures, too, as we continue to warm up. Let's get you on over to meteorologist Ryan Phillips with more on the day's forecast. Hey, Ryan.
We are still dry out there, Pam, but temperatures quickly jumping as we saw a wind shift across South Florida. And if you live in the coastal locations, you can certainly feel feel the change. We remain dry on Live First Alert Doppler in Broward County and Miami-Dade with no rain in sight just yet, maybe for the weekend. We'll come back to that. Let's talk about the cloud cover that was quick to move in first thing this morning, changing our winds from the northwest to the northeast, and the clouds developing through the overnight hours and now running ashore. Well out west, we are mostly sunny. Towards the beach, partly sunny to mostly cloudy at times, and gusty winds, too. We've had wind gusts between 20 and 25 miles per hour, leading to kind of choppy conditions out there for the beachgoers. But that east wind moderating the temperatures, taking us out of the lower 50s this morning, just 5 or 6 hours ago, now at 70 in Opelika, Miami, and West Kendall, lagging behind just a touch in Fort Lauderdale at 68. First alert weather through the afternoon hours. Breezy beaches, remaining dry, more cloud cover in place versus the last few days. Noontime temperatures in the low 70s. We'll call for a high of 73. That's still below average, but as we head into the evening hours, the winds settle down and it should be rather tranquil. Temperatures into the upper 60s. A look ahead to the weekend in just a bit. Right now, Pam, back to you.
All right, I'm going to take it away, Ryan. We have more breaking news this midday in Southwest Miami-Dade. That's where police say that someone opened fire in front of a police officer's home. Chopper 6 over the scene in the area of Southwest 181st Street and Southwest 104th Avenue. Investigators say that the police officer was inside the home at the time when several gunshots rang out. The officer went outside, and that's when she found her patrol car had been shot up. No one was injured in that shooting. We will continue to follow these breaking news details and bring you updates as soon as they become available. Pam?
All right, well, let's talk about the snow for a moment. Just too much of it up in the Northeast. Forecasters have their eyes on two weather systems now that might bring more significant additional snow to New England in the coming days as you look at these pictures of trying to dig out from this big historic blizzard that hit the Northeast. For NBC6, Dylan Dreyer has more.
Famous as a summertime getaway, Nantucket this morning is encased in snow and ice.
It started out as a plain old winter storm, then it became an ice storm, then it became a hurricane, then it was a flood.
The first ferries since the blizzard are finally back up and running, but much of the space has been reserved for emergency and utility vehicles. Power crews from as far away as Canada.
So things are ripping off your house. What is that sounding like as the storm's happening?
Sounds like a train's coming through your living room.
D.W. Coffin and Ariane Berger say people on Nantucket stick together through a storm.
There's such a community, especially around when big storms and things happen, that people tend to almost embrace them. And
you definitely feel like if you need anything that you can just go to your neighbor's house.
Just look at this, a new photo surfacing of what some faced along the coast Tuesday, walls of waves crashing ashore. That's the sound of the ocean being chipped away. In Marshfield, nearly everything was doused, the water freezing in place.
The upstairs, I think, is okay, but the downstairs is clear through.
Yeah, right over the house.
High tide smashed through Tim Maddox's home, sending debris into his face.
If I get knocked out, I probably would have got killed.
He survived, but his home is in icy ruin. The scope of the storm brought into focus by a satellite photo showing a blanket of snow across the Northeast. In Portland, Maine, people on the sidewalks are shielded from view by the snowbanks. On eastern Long Island, digging out is taking its toll on the snow blowers. Business is booming at this repair shop.
Belts going, people just pushing the machines a little bit too hard.
There's still plenty of work to do, and with snow in the forecast, perhaps more to come.
And that was Dylan Dreyer reporting. The new incoming storm could come through starting on Sunday night. We'll keep you posted.
All right, now to chilling new video from the Florida State University campus shooting this midday. Newly released video shows the chaos that broke out during last year's deadly shooting inside the school's library. NBC6 reporter Dan Krause joins us live in studio with a look. Dan?
Joanne, the chilling video shows the terrifying moments inside the school library and the chaos caused by the mentally ill gunman. Take a look. The video clearly shows Myron May walking casually into the lobby right there. Two students duck under the front desk, and May at point-blank range opens fire on them. One of those students was grazed by a bullet. He then walks around that building and walks out a short time later. The building was just packed with students studying for their midterm exams at the time. 2 minutes later, as you can see, officers rush inside and shoot May to death. A total of 3 students were injured in the shooting. A young man was shot 3 times and paralyzed from the waist down. A library worker was shot in the leg, and a third was grazed by a bullet. He is an 18-year-old student from Miramar. May was an attorney and a 2005 graduate of FSU, and police say he has a history of mental illness. We were the first to report on his history of mental illness. May thought government workers and cameras were watching him. He also reportedly could hear voices talking to him through the walls of his house. In the studio, Dan Krauth, NBC6, South Florida.
Dan, thank you. A Florida man accused in the shooting death of his best friend faces a judge. Brevard County police say that Rodney Patrick was acting out the lyrics of a music video by hip-hop artist Waka Flocka fame called Bustin' at 'Em. That's when prosecutors say Patrick accidentally shot and killed 17-year-old Douglas Winslow. Listen to the frantic 911 call.
I didn't know it was loaded, and he wanted to see it. I'm so stupid.
No, sir, I understand. I understand. Just stay on the phone with me, sir, okay?
Investigators say that Patrick at first tried to tell them that Winslow had accidentally shot himself. If convicted, he faces life in prison.
A bipartisan group of senators will introduce legislation today aimed at ending the Cuban embargo. It'll be the first legislative move since the Obama administration announced plans to change its Cuba policy. Some Republicans have already said there is little chance that any bill to lift all or part of that Cuban embargo will pass. Just yesterday, Cuban leader Raul Castro demanded the U.S. lift the embargo, leave Guantanamo Bay, and shut down Radio Marti if it wants to continue restoring relations.
There's much more ahead on NBC6 South Florida this midday. Grisly discovery. Discarded luggage near Twitter headquarters conceals a bloody cargo.
And a dad's plea. A father asks his 6-year-old son's school to bar kids who are not vaccinated. The reasoning behind his radical request.
Plus, a local high school is telling its students to aim for the stars with technology that's out of this world.